The British ace reached the quarterfinals for the second time in his career, but it could prove costly. It was a Wimbledon to remember for Norrie, who, for just the second time in his career, reached the quarterfinals of the championships. Hopes of a maiden Grand Slam title were slashed by the formidable Carlos Alcaraz, who put him to the sword on center court, winning 2-6, 3-6. 3-6. Despite the straight sets defeat, Norrie can leave SW19 with his head held high and a hefty wedge of cash in his back pocket. That's because, for reaching the last 8 of Wimbledon, Norrie banked an impressive £400,000. The six-figure sum is by far the biggest prize Norrie has earned in 2025, and barring an extraordinary run at the US Open, will likely remain that way for the rest of the year. Yet, because of Wimbledon's rules, Norrie will likely lose almost half of his £400,000 winnings to the taxman, even though Norrie, who was born in South Africa, currently resides in Monaco. Wimbledon earnings are fully taxable in the UK regardless of where a player is based. Tournament organizers do withhold tax at a flat 20% rate on players' core prize money, but as the winnings for all main draw competitors in the singles competitions exceed the 40% threshold, additional tax rules are liable. Paul Barham, tax partner at Forvis Mazars, exclusively told Express Sport that if players are additional rate taxpayers, it's likely their Wimbledon earnings will be taxed at 45% in the case of Norrie. That would mean a whopping £180,000 of his winnings could be heading to the taxman. The tax rules ensure players contribute to the British economy during their visit and also include earnings pocketed from promotional activities tied to their Wimbledon participation. However, Barham explained that players are able to submit deductible expenses which can lower the final payment. He explained, "These figures represent the liabilities before taking into account any deductible expenses such as travel and accommodation costs and coaching fees. These expenses can be deducted from the taxable amount and will therefore reduce the final tax bill."